Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video has been a long time coming. I kept saying I was going to film it, but I finally have some time to sit down and talk to the camera and answer a bunch of the questions that I get every week, as well as a bunch of the questions that you guys have left me wanting to know in a Q&A video. So the time has come. Let's sit down and let's have a chat. So my name is Jessie, I'm 25 years old. I'm currently living in Brisbane, Queensland. I've just moved down to Brisbane from the Sunshine Coast. I was up there a couple months and now I've come back. I am initially from Brisbane. I was born in Cairns, but most of my life has been spent in Brisbane. I first committed to cycling only a few months ago, living up at the sunny coast. Before that, I was just a casual cycler, runner, swimmer, gymmer, a little bit of everything, very socially. I was never someone that competed in triathlons or anything like that. I just liked those sports individually. But when I moved up to the sunny coast in July, I started getting more into cycling and I did my first ever cycling race in October. It is now February. So I have been doing local crits for 5 months now. I've been working with my coach for around 2 and a bit. So still very new to the sport, but I am loving it so much. So behind me, I have my Canyon Aeroad CF SLX 8 running Ultegra Di2. I have had this bike for, I needed to check that and that's really bad. I got this bike at the end of November. So I've had it for December, January, and now going into February. I am obsessed. I love it so incredibly much. I did come from an electric gearing bike before this. I was riding a giant TCR, but the Aeroad is seriously, I have no words. I love her so much and racing and everything on this bike is incredible. So for size perspective, I am 172 centimeters tall and I ride an extra small. I also have an extra long stem on my bike. So this is an aftermarket change. It's still the Canyon T-bar that comes with the bike because it's obviously all integrated cabling. But I have a 120 millimeter stem and I have completely dropped the stack. So when it comes to sizing and fit, that is what I have done to make my bike more racy. In addition to the bike itself, I have a Canyon backlight, a Canyon front light. I have a Garmin bike computer. A few people have asked me about this. I can't actually find the name of this one. I believe, oh, isn't that bad that I've been trying to find the name on the Garmin app, but it's actually on the back. This is the Edge 830. This obviously allows me to map and everything on it. It's touchscreen. I love it. I wouldn't say it's like game changing. It's just a bike computer to me. I'm not looking for anything super techy. I just want to see what I need to see. And for filming on the bike, I have recently started using the Action Osmo 5. I love this. This is so good because there's some easy attachments that you can get to put it on your bike and you're basically ready to go and film on the go. Other than on the bike, I use a Sony ZV-1 to film. What other questions have I had in regards to components? So obviously running DT Swiss. I have GP 5000 tires on, Canyon bottle cages. At the moment, I don't have a bar bag that I use. I haven't needed to have one. This one did come with a 4i power meter, which I have no problems with. I use Look pedals. On my previous bike, I had the Asioma pedals, so I switched from Shimano to Look cleats and I prefer them a lot more for clipping and unclipping. So I just decided to go with Look pedals with this one as well. I've also noticed no major discrepancies between the Asioma power pedals and the 4i power meter. This is obviously the crank. So personal preference, but it obviously came with the bike, so I have nothing against it. Now, someone asked me if I have a support guard that goes with me on my rides or if I take gear. I definitely take gear. I wish I had someone that went with me. I know that Matt comes with me on a lot of my like weekend rides, but during the week I'm pretty much solo. Living on the coast, or like since getting this bike in November, I've had one flat, so it's not something that I struggle with. I'm not super heavy, so I don't really have to worry about getting flats, but I do have this little saddle bag by Skycon. I don't know how you actually say it. I hear people say it all different ways. That is the brand. They do really good travel bags, like bike bags, so I'm sure you've heard of it. But in here, I basically have a spare tube. I have an attachment for my CO2 canister. I have 2 tie levers. Isn't that really bad? This is what I mean, I don't get flats. I don't even have a CO2 canister in here at the moment. That's so embarrassing. Matt used my last CO2 canister when he had to change a flat on the go. So I actually don't have CO2 anyway, so if I had a flat, I wouldn't be able to fix it. I'm gonna go get one of those right now and put it in. But I also always have this with me. I've never had to change a flat out on the road. The one flat I did get was with Matt and he changed it for me, so I'm very lucky in that regard. Touch all the wood in the world. Other than that, let's have a quick chat about nutrition. So I started working with Sammy from Ideal Nutrition only a couple weeks ago. They are sponsoring me as an athlete, so I'm so incredibly grateful for them. I have made some serious training gains since working with Sammy. Some of the biggest things I've started incorporating are creatine. Creatine has been a game changer. If you don't have creatine, seriously get on it. Having 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of finishing my rides, especially on the weekend, this helps with recovery so much. I'm obsessed with Rokeby nutrition. So if you haven't tried Rokeby, you really need to. It's just such an easy way of getting like nutrition in post-ride. But Sammy has been such a big help in experimenting with my food, especially now that I've been racing later in the day. Obviously you have to practice nutrition for those types of things. You don't just get up, eat and go, because I'm definitely someone that gets hungry on the bike. Even on my endurance rides, I generally tend to sit around 50 to 60 grams of carbs an hour, but my stomach starts to grumble if I just have carbs, which is why I have Musashi energy bars with me a lot of the time. I haven't tried any other brands really, but the Musashi energy bar in the peanut butter flavor is just like, I love it so much. So I really haven't branched out. In regards to the carbs I have on the bike, I generally do one of 3 things. I have gels at the moment, Winners gels in the raspberry flavor. I've got nothing wrong with that. Pre-race, I've been experimenting with Maurten and SIS beta fuels though, so that's different on race day. But like general training, Winners gels, lolly snakes, because in a snake there's 10 grams of carbs, it's so easy to remember. And the powder that I do in my bottles a lot of the time is just Powerade. It works well for me. I don't need to spend a bunch of money. It's super cheap and it's accessible, so that is a win for that. Pre-training for me, it's always sourdough toast, normally 3 pieces, 2 with peanut butter and jam, 1 with Biscoff. And then nutrition for the rest of the day is always changing. I do a lot of protein snacks like Ninja Creamies, yogurt. I do a lot of baking. Meals for dinner generally go between hot chips and bread, as like burgers, rice or homemade tacos. I don't really experiment much with dinners because I love what I have. If I'm not training first thing in the morning, I'll switch out my toast for Weet-Bix and I have those instead. But that is pretty much that. In regards to actual training itself, I do have a coach. My coach is Nick Owen. He has NOC Cycling, NOC. He is Melbourne based and he is amazing. He's helped me so incredibly much. I generally sit around that 20 hours a week on the bike, and then I do 2 strength sessions off the bike a week off the bike a week, which are also programmed. So that is pretty much like a week of training. Monday and Friday, usually recovery days. Tuesday and Thursday, or Wednesday and Thursday are my session days. And then if the 2 session days are Wednesday and Thursday, I'll do endurance on a Tuesday. If the session days are Tuesday and Thursday, I'll do endurance on a Wednesday. Saturday is usually a crit plus some sort of workout, or if I'm racing on the Sunday, it's just the crit on the Saturday, and then I'll do like a little bit of a workout on the end of Sunday. By workout, I mean race the crit, and then I'll have like 2 by 10-minute efforts, or like 2 by 8-minute, or like 6 30-second sprints. It changes around a lot, but that's pretty much my week of training. Now let's get into some of the more specific questions. So someone said, what are my short and long-term goals for cycling and this channel? This channel is honestly just because I love making content. I've had a lot of people come up to me at local racing now and introduce themselves and say that they watch my stuff. So if you have seen me at a crit, hello, please come and say hi. I actually love it, and I love meeting new people. I have just started racing with Futuro Pro Tandems cycling team, so definitely meeting some people via that, but I love meeting you guys at crits as well, so come and say hey. In regards to this channel, yeah, just to have fun, build, you know, a good community. There's not enough women cycling channels on YouTube, so I'm liking to fill up that space a little bit. In regards to cycling, I do have, at the moment, my main event for the next couple months is Tour de Brisbane to qualify for Gran Fondo Worlds, which is in Melbourne in October or September, somewhere around that. I have a few other races amongst that, but nothing set in stone yet. Just kind of seeing how I go training wise with my coach. He is very informative, I don't know. He's very helpful in helping me to decide what I want to do. So I'm kind of leaving that in his field, and he's helping me decide. But short term is just to get better at racing. I've obviously come a long way with my crits in just a couple months. Mostly sitting off the front now, which is exciting. Almost up to A grade women. At the moment I'm racing B grade women, because the tactical side definitely still needs work. As much as I may have the endurance, because I do a lot of long rides, my sprint power is still a work in progress. My confidence sprinting is still a work in progress. And yeah, once you hit A grade women, obviously tactics are a lot more of an element, which is something that I'm still practicing a lot. So that is where I'm currently sitting with that. I don't use any apps to track carbs or calories or track calories, any of that. I go very intuitively. I feel like I've gotten a lot better with nutrition the past couple of weeks since working with Sammy. So she kind of gives me a rough outline of what to eat on different days depending on what my training looks like, but I don't track anything. I try to eat pretty intuitively, and I snack a lot. Like every time I go into the cupboard, I'll have like a teaspoon of peanut butter or like some Biscoff or some chocolate chips. So it'd be so hard for me to track because I'm just constantly nibbling on things. Off the bike, I am balancing a few different like forms of income at the moment. I am a qualified primary school teacher. I do not have my own class at the moment. It's just not something that I really enjoy. So at the moment I'm just doing relief teaching. I did have my own class in my first year of teaching 3 years ago, but relief just works so much better for me. So I'm going to stick to doing that 3 to 4 days a week. I was working casually in a bike shop at the Sunshine Coast. I'm not working there this week. The future of that, I'm not entirely sure what to do with it, because obviously I'm living in Brisbane now, and I also do freelance UGC work for a few brands, creating some ads for them. I do have a lot of questions about nutrition though, so if you would like to see more like what I eat in a day, please comment that down below. I'm more than happy to share as much as I feel appropriate. Now that I work with a dietitian, I feel a lot more comfortable sharing what I'm eating because it's obviously backed by a qualified professional, not just what I think is right for me. So if you want to see more into that, I definitely can, as well as like training weeks, specific training days, gym sessions, anything that you want to see more of, make sure to comment down below. But if I didn't get answer one of the questions that you're wanting to know or something you're really keen to find out, make sure you comment down below and I'll do another Q&A in a couple of weeks. I'll just save up all the questions and I can answer them then. But this is the bike, this is the Aero, that's what I got the most questions about. So I will link this bike down below. I bought it offline. I got it within like 4 days. It was super quick and it said it came from Germany. So insane to me. Cleaning wise, I clean it myself using Muck Off products and Muck Off lube at the moment, but I am wanting to switch over to waxing my own chain. I just haven't gotten around to buying all the things to do that. But that is a summary of the bike. I'm not going to talk too much about bike clothing just because now I am racing for a team. That is generally the kit that I'm going to wear 90% of the time. You might still see me wearing like black kit or like in a random jersey if all of my stuff is in the wash, but when it comes to racing and like most of the time I will be wearing my Tandem Futuro Pro kit, which is the brand Salaya, is the people that make the, that's the sponsor of the kit. I'm so bad at explaining, but I've been wanting to try Salaya for a little while and I was very impressed with that kit. If you don't know what kit I'm talking about, it'll be in the next video that drops, but I will put a photo here. I'm wearing a small in the bibs and an extra small in the jersey, and I find it incredibly hard to find jerseys that actually fit me, and this fit me. So I was very nicely surprised by the Salaya kit, sizing, quality, everything. The chamois is really comfortable. Still wearing my Met helmet because that is also the helmet sponsor for my team, so that's amazing. The sunnies that I always wear are Sun-Gold sunnies, and now that they match the blue of my team kit, just so good. And I wear Shimano S-Fire shoes. So that is pretty much a summary of everything about the bike. Again, if I missed anything or there's anything you really want to know, make sure to comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of you for subscribing. I have hit 1,000 subscribers now. That was my major goal. I've now gone beyond 1,000 and I've had my first major milestone of hitting 4,000 watch hours. So all of you that have been watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And if you do see me out on the road, please be sure to say hello. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.